Picture this: a steaming stack of pancakes, dripping with golden syrup, scrambled eggs smothered in gooey melted cheese, and a side of perfectly toasted bread slathered in rich, creamy butter. Looks like the perfect breakfast, right? But here's the twist. That syrup, probably corn syrup. That cheese, maybe not cheese at all. And that butter could actually be margarine. Fake food or imitation food is actually a legally defined category in the United States. It looks like food, it's sold like food, but it's chemically or structurally altered to be cheaper, longer lasting, and more marketable. Here are some examples. Pasteurized processed cheese product. Non-dairy whipped topping. Bacon bits with no bacon. Wasabi made from chemicals. Vanilla without the bean. Truffle oil that's made out of canola oil. That 100% cranberry juice, more often it's 100% juice blend with cranberry. Disclose? Yes, but the fine print makes blend look a lot smaller than cranberry. These foods didn't win us over with taste alone. They won through psychology. Clever marketing tapped into the quirks of our brains, using framing, anchoring, nostalgia, and even FOMO. That's the secret ingredient. So how did fake food become the real thing? Let's start with butter. Rather, not butter. You might be eating fake butter your whole life, and you didn't even know it. Check the label. It might say blend of vegetable oils or pasteurized cream. Close enough to butter, right? But not the same. Back in 1869, Emperor Napoleon III challenged inventors to create a cheaper alternative to butter to feed his navy and the French working class. The winner was a French chemist named Hippolyte Maury. His creation, Margarine, a firmer, darker spread made from vegetable oils, processed to mimic butter's texture. But how do you sell fake butter to people who want the real thing? Simple. Call it buttery. That's why you see labels like buttery, buttery flavored, buttery spread, non-dairy spread, butter alternative with a buttery taste. Carefully constructed without saying butter. It's a classic case of framing, shifting perception so that margarine isn't fake butter. It's a new entire category, and in countries like the Philippines, some of the cheapest yellow spreads that family use, not butter at all, they're margarine in disguise.
Headache, but not for long.
But butter wasn't the only tradition swapped for a fake. Real maple syrup is magic. Indigenous peoples in North America discovered it by tapping maple trees, boiling the sap down into sweet golden liquid. Colonists adopted it, and for centuries, maple syrup was a seasonal treasure. But real maple syrup is expensive and labor-intensive. So food companies created a cheaper alternative, the pancake syrup. Instead of tree sap, it's made of high fructose corn syrup, artificial caramel coloring, and maple flavoring. And here's the genius part. They didn't position it as fake syrup. They branded it as a family tradition. Think Mrs. Butterworth's bottle shaped like a grandmother. Think Aunt Jemima, a fictional character. The neuromarketing technique used anchoring. Putting it side by side with real maple syrup makes it look like a good deal, even if you're buying flavored corn syrup. To the point that it became mainstream on diner tables and households. A generation grew up thinking this was maple syrup. Nostalgia sealed the deal. From buttery to corn syrup. Cheese should be simple. A little bit of milk, salt, rennet, and thyme. But mass production flipped the recipe. In the US, food laws allow something called pasteurized processed cheese food. It means real cheese blended with emulsifiers, preservatives, and oils to make it melt smoother and last longer. Think about the perfect cheese melt on your burger. The gooey pool on nachos. That's not accident. That's engineering. The neuromarketing trick here. Nostalgia and convenience. Singles wrapped in plastic became
The
a symbol
taste kids
of the
love.
all-American lunchbox. Ads didn't say artificial cheese. They said
The cheese kids love.
the taste kids love. And slowly, we forgot the difference between cheddar that aged for a year and cheese that came individually wrapped. But if cheese could be reinvented, the green shaker can took it even further. That familiar green can of Parmesan on spaghetti night? For many Americans, that was Parmesan. But in Europe, only Parmigiano Reggiano aged at least 12 months under strict
Cheese
rules
goes
can
into a
earn
salt
that
bath
name.
to draw out the moisture.
20 giorni qui c'è la moia che assorbe, poi prima di arrivare al centro del formaggio ci vuole ancora
The cheese wheels are stored in huge ripening rooms for at least 12 months.
The US version, it was cheap, shelf-stable, and to keep it from clumping, often mixed with cellulose, a plant fiber, sometimes even from wood pulp.
Use very small amounts of cellulose to keep Parmesan cheese from clumping. It's considered safe to eat, but some manufacturers have crossed the line, using it as fillers, cutting corners, and duping customers. Whether sprinkled on pasta, shaved on salads, or grated onto pretty much anything, Americans' appetite for cheese has been heating up for the last 4 decades. But
In 2016, a scandal broke. Some brands contained nearly 10% cellulose. Headlines called it wood in your cheese. But sales barely dipped because that green shaker had already become part of the family, making it about authenticity and comfort. And that's the power of the neuromarketing technique called the social proof. It's like when you notice every toothpaste is doctor recommended. But which doctor? And who recommended it? But you actually buy it. The pumpkin spice latte might be the ultimate fake food, and here's why. There's often no pumpkin in it. The flavor comes from cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, and pumpkin flavored syrup. So how did it become a billion-dollar seasonal juggernaut? Starbucks didn't just sell a drink. They sold exclusivity. The pumpkin spice latte appears in fall, creating scarcity. Miss it and you wait another year. That's FOMO marketing at its finest. They also tied it with emotion. Cozy sweaters and autumn leaves. The feeling of nostalgia for a season. Suddenly, the drink wasn't about pumpkin at all. It was about identity. It was genius. They turned fake flavor into a cultural ritual.
I am not butter.
Margarine wasn't butter.
I am
Pancake
not
syrup
maple.
wasn't maple.
Imposters!
Processed slices weren't cheddar. Green shaker wasn't Parmesan. And the pumpkin spice latte, not even pumpkin. But here's the wild part. None of that mattered. We accepted the fakes because they weren't just food. They were stories. Marketers didn't sell ingredients. They sold feelings, tradition, nostalgia, comfort, and identity. They use framing to make margarine feel like butter. They use anchoring to make corn syrup feel like a bargain. They use nostalgia and social proof to make fake cheese feel authentic. And FOMO to turn a seasonal syrup into a cultural ritual. Fake food wasn't just a trick. It was marketing's greatest invention. And if marketing convinced us that these fake foods are the real thing, what else could it make us believe? And if you like this kind of episodes, don't forget to check the rest out. So good day, thanks for watching, and if I missed you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.